Going onward with our roots, a fundamental concept for continually finding alternatives. Happy and joyful as the mouth in the ox shop, or is it merely the ground to greeting us every day? We invite you to enter your core for the next minutes and then take a look at the world and radiate out into the world.
I learned to be a farmer conventionally. Many experiences touched it and irritated me, like dehorning calves, castrating piglets, spreading pesticides, and I'm looking for alternatives. And after a period of practical experiences, I found other answers in organic farming and began to study agriculture. But I quickly realized that I like the practice, and but I also like the student life. So I decided to study other things. I also interested. That was people. In my case, that was market and communication psychology. After my studies, I was able to combine my two trainings, agriculture and psychology. For almost 10 years, I worked for a Ministry of Agriculture in Stuttgart for project management and public relations.
When I was about 8 years old, I was sure that I marry a farmer. Professionally, I come from design. My life, my children, my husband, the farm has led me further into redesigning real life. I stepped closer for the infinitely close. Relationships and the essence of life are the themes I've been enthusiastic about for my whole life. The upbringing of our kids and having to interact with the classical structure of institutions inspired me to look for alternatives. For example, by co-founding an independent school.
After 10 years of work in the office, it was already the end. I wanted to go back to where my heart lies, back to agriculture practice. In 2000, I started farming. As luck would have it, my wife's dream comes true, and she got to marry me, a real farmer. Since 2006, we have been running our Demeter farm full-time. Demeter is a worldwide organic association and founded in Germany in 1924. I will now tell you about my sense. We let ourselves be distracted by numerous external offers because everything seems to be too much. Just tackle the things that concern, that is my motto. To be relaxed and effective is the area that concerns me. I like to quote the psychologist Viktor Frankl, between stimulus and reaction there's a space. In this space we have the freedom and the responsibility of choosing our reaction. This is freedom for me. This freedom that can also lead to personal success. Perceiving the stimulus, the issue, the problems, working on it, and then implementing alternatives that support togetherness. Whether with human beings or animals or land. In order to move away from the theoretical part, here are some practical examples from my work. These are zipling calves. These animals come from neighboring dairy farms. In the past, these calves were transported to Eastern or Southern Europe and fatted in calf pens there. We keep them with us for 2 years and feeding them only grass and hay and grass products. Foodstuff that people do not eat. Feed no food is the motto. These animals are in the pasture, of course, with horns. We keep 60 cattle, which are all summer on different patches around Konstanz. Another example, our chickens. Our chickens are dual-purpose animals. They lay 100 eggs a year, less than their high-yield counterparts, but are healthier and also like to spend time in the meadow. These chickens live in a mobile coop, which is moved every week. This way, the animals can always eat fresh grass. The chickens thanks us for its effort with health and tasty eggs. Another example for biodiversity, flowering meadows, nearly planted high trunk trees. These are a few small examples from our farm life. We try to solve our tasks with liveliness. This means using not only the head, but also the heart and good feeling. We do not only focus on the cognitive performance, but also give equal attention to emotional feelings.
Along with founding and developing the farm, I gained a plethora of experiences and adventures. The next natural step for me was to start working with parents and their kids in order to support them in their special entities. I do not offer entertaining events for parents and children, nor do I offer therapy. Rather, my focus is on strengthening the relationship between parents and their children and stimulating liveliness, enjoying everyday life, literally living our lifetime. Not talking positively about our lives, but accepting the ups and downs and going along with those. What you see here in picture 1 is a picture of a healthy cell. For me, a cell is the most original image of life. This model can be used to vividly describe my concern. The cell has a nucleus and is surrounded by a membrane. The inner nucleus and the membrane determine what goes in and out through the membrane. The natural impulse of a cell is to carry its message to the outside and cooperate and communicate with others. Let's assume that when a person is born, this envelope is intact and has a thin but delicate outer membrane. And what is our reality? Everyone has good intentions and wants a child to be wonderful. The fact is not acknowledged that the child is already itself, and the space for its own inner impulses is very small. Our society is structured in such a way that we constantly receive experiences and impulses from outside, which seem much more credible than our own inner feelings. This is picture number 4. The child is constantly shaped from the outside and becomes the project of the parents who know exactly how the child should develop. How can we maintain this membrane and support the nucleus to expand from the inside to radiate into the world? The answer is, let's break up with everything that held us back in our lives through awareness, knowledge, empathetic language, and awareness of our body and movement. So that the child has space and time to conquer the world and develop according to its core. People who have experienced that do not need constantly protect themselves because the core is so strong and safe. My whole work revolves around accompanying and enhancing the process of growth stemming from the inside and radiating to the outside. I offer tools and knowledge to support the individual to serve the wealth of life. I hope the principle is clear. As adults in our time, we are invited to grow along with our children, to change the old structures for a better, more sustainable world. We should not strive for perfection, but attempt to live with joy and awe, as we witness our children in their vitality and wonder. Our problem is not a knowledge deficit, but a feeling reflection deficit.
We would like to invite you to embark as a researcher of yourself. Take your time and take yourself seriously. Take time to reflect on what you're feeling and allow yourself to look for alternatives or to think. Set out on the path to your aliveness. Being alive means finding alternatives.
Connect with yourself, with your inner self. Someone will be waiting there, feeling into your inner self and radiate out into the world. Go onward with your roads.
Thank you.